What is up? It's Dakota Layden here from Destination Fear, and you are listening to the Paranormal Zone.
A ghostly apparition in the dark of night.
Human sacrifice, dogs and cats living together, mass hysteria.
Mike, my friend, we have returned to the world. Are you
I've been gone.
on top of your game tonight? This is the first flagship episode that has been released to the world.
Yeah, we've dicked around with things again.
We have. It's been 8 months. 8 months since we went to YouTube exclusive, and we decided we don't like that. So
I don't think people like it either.
Well, the thing is, I believe, and trust me, we're not doing an on-air production meeting. I really think we need to focus on YouTube videos, as do you. You keep asking me, you keep saying that, you've been saying it for months. So when we do YouTube videos, they're going to be strictly video, and that's it. The flagship is released again upon the world. So this is listened to, again, this episode, people are listening to this on Spotify, on Pandora, all the places you find your favorite podcasts for the first time in 8 months. So, Mike, let's make this good, damn it.
Well, it was a hell of a run, no?
It was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. And you know what? We have to experiment. You have to try things out because we talked about that for quite a bit. And we were excited about going to YouTube exclusive. But, for various reasons, we're back. And we're back to, I don't want to say the old schedule, because this is a rebirth of the Paranormal Zone, and you're going to get the same old crap as you always did. No, I'm kidding.
Well, well, I mean, the YouTube videos, they need to be hyped up a lot more. And not hyped up, but, just really,
Well, they have to be video, for one thing.
And they have to be quite nicely done. I mean, I'm talking about slow motion runs through like a field of poppies.
Like so, okay, so like the next time you and I meet up, we can run to Standing Rock again, and I can film you running slowly through the tall grass, the windy, wispy fields of Standing Rock. And we can use it as part of the video production. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and then you can hear me screaming because I'm picking up a billion darn wood ticks along the way.
Oh, by the way, if you want to hear Mike scream like a banshee, oh my gosh, go check out some of the footage we have on our Patreon page. Yeah, the Patreon page is constantly growing by leaps and bounds. We haven't given up on that one, boys and girls.
No.
Exclusive episodes. We are up to 90 now for exclusive episodes and footage and audio and video and all that good stuff from our ghost hunting adventures. And as I said, Mike screaming like a banshee, causing me to abruptly stop our video Ouija laser grid session.
You could hear me screaming from the bathroom, ripping my shirt off.
Yes, because he swore he had a wood tick on him. Oh my gosh.
And I did.
You did. You found out later on that you did.
Yes.
But, man, I haven't seen you move that fast in a long time. So,
hey, my pain. I felt no pain.
You felt no pain.
Adrenaline that ran.
So I'm saying. So I am saying to you all, if you want to hear Mike scream and move like the rebirth of Carl Lewis himself, yeah,
it's on video.
It is. It absolutely is on video. So. Hey, all you have to do is go check out the Patreon. Yeah, why not? Why not?
I still have yet to watch it, but I got to watch it.
So, Mike, the topic at hand tonight, we're talking about spectral wanderers. We're talking about lost souls.
Yeah.
We are diving back into what is our favorite topic, of course, the paranormal. All things ghostly, all things haunting, because that's something that means the most to us. And to kind of segue into the topic at hand, Mike, we're sticking with our usual Ghost Gab opening segment. I want to ask you straight up, do you believe that ghosts slash spirits slash spectral wanderers, whatever you want to call them, do you believe that they do indeed or can indeed follow human beings? And if so, Mike, have you ever been followed by a ghost? He's giggling. I love it.
We've never talked about this before.
Well, hey, this is a new rebirth. We have new
That's right.
listeners.
We have a lot of those.
Every
the rebirth.
The rebirths. Yes, exactly. I think we're going on like 12 or 13 now, and like the 12 or 13 years we've been doing this.
And each time we go about a dozen listeners backwards and maybe half of one forward. I don't know.
Half of one forward. Hey, as long as we're taking that step forward, that's all that matters.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you don't even have to reiterate that story, Mike. I mean, you can share new insights. You can share new thoughts. I mean, why would a spirit be attached? And have you personally experienced that?
Well, I have. I think I have most of my life. I think I still do. My 60 whatever years. But anyway, yeah, there are. Everybody hears about attachments. You go somewhere, ghost hunting. You want to put out that protection so you don't have anything follow you home or attach to you. I had a hair on my keyboard. If you heard that little blowing noise.
Mike was blowing on his keyboard there.
That great Pyrenees hair covering up my GHJKNL.
What the hell?
But anyway, attachments are a real thing, and I think there are probably more ghost hunting groups that can attest to that more than what we could imagine.
Now, if we're going with the argument that, of course, ghosts can attach themselves to not only humans, but, to objects.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, why? What is going on there? Is it a feeling that they do not want to be alone? Were they connected to that object or that person during their physical existence? They cannot let go. Do they not know that they have transitioned to the other existence, so to speak? I mean, what Mike, do you think? I mean, what's your organic response? Yes, your organic response, your thoughts, your opinions to such questions.
My organic response right now is like rotting grass clippings.
Okay, just. So why would you think, Mike, as an example, why would you, of all people, have ghosts attracted to you? Why would they follow you from house to house? Or not even the case of them following you, but why in the hell has someone like you, Mike, lived a quote-unquote haunted life? Are you just more open to it? Do they sense that?
Well, I have always been open to it, going back to, my entire family life. Growing up with my dad, of course, that was the great believer and carrying on the tradition of the paranormal in our family.
Right.
From his mother and his grandmother and whatever else before that, I don't know. But yeah, is it an attachment? Is it the imaginary friend that I had when I was a kid?
Right.
Or like you said, can a person just be sensitive enough to just experience and be more open to what is in a house or in a place or a location?
To be able to tap into those energies.
Yeah, that's already there. That
other people like me can't, apparently.
Yeah, people could be living in a house for 50 years and it's like just a happy everyday family house. There's nothing that goes on, but say I go there sometime or anybody that has any ability or whatever, and feels things or gets an idea of things or sees something even, that has just been there unnoticed,
Yeah.
and very lost at that point. It's like if it's an intelligent spirit and it's stuck in this house, and it cannot communicate. Nobody sees it. Nobody hears it.
Yeah. Talk about a living hell, or I should even say a living hell, but just,
Right.
the personification almost of an isolated hellish experience,
Exactly.
being aware of your surroundings, being aware of other souls, be them living or not, and you cannot communicate with them. That would, to me, that's the very definition of at least feeling lost for sure.
Yeah. Yep. Going up to somebody's face and just screaming, and
Oh,
there's just no response.
There's nothing there. It's kind of like those dreams, Mike, where you have like a nightmare and you try to scream or you try to run and you can't do it. Man, can imagine that happening constantly to you. You just cannot make yourself known or heard.
Yeah, for decades, or maybe in the case of an Irish castle for centuries.
Yeah, 100%. Which, by the way, man, I love America. I love the United States. But as a quote-unquote newish type country, we got nothing when it comes to awesome old ancient buildings and castles and structures compared to the rest of the damn world. It's like, come on, man, we need some cool stuff here.
Well, United Kingdom.
Wonderful. Any number of places, yeah. So
we should plan a bike trip across the United Kingdom and just
a bike trip, you say?
Yeah.
Okay, what are we going to take a ferry across the pond?
The Mersey.
I mean, okay.
We could swim across the Thames.
I mean, just of all the reasons to go across the ocean, Mike wants to take a bike trip. I mean, okay, I get it. Fine. I mean, whatever, maybe therapeutic in any number of ways.
Well,
I can think of other reasons to travel across the pond, and it's not necessarily to go for a bike trip, but
just think what you'd be able to experience. I mean, England alone. I mean, just my ancestry there and everything. In Scotland and Ireland. I just want to see it all.
Mike, you made me giggle there. I had to mute myself. So
every spot I tell you with the king. I won't forget to put out my pinky.
Absolutely not. You got to be proper. You absolutely have to be proper. Okay, so I'm sorry. Going back to as far as ghosts following people or being attached to people or being attached to objects, I 100% buy into it. I 100% buy into haunted, quote unquote, haunted objects.
Mm-hmm.
You were showing me that creepy ass, whatever the hell it was called.
Yeah.
What is it called again? For the listeners, describe to the listeners what it is. And it's from the 1950s or?
Well, I don't know. This thing is pretty old. Well, the apple that they use is ass old. I mean, it looks like
it looks like death. That's what it looks like.
It looks like it came from what I just said, actually.
And Mike has said he is going to take pictures, like kind of artistic pictures of this and post them.
Yeah, I said that when I first got it, but I'm trying to bring myself up to it. But now, if you can you get a really...
Remember, this is not video, but I can see
I know, but I'm just...
Oh, God, yeah, get that off the screen. No, I don't want to look at it.
And like we said before, the arms are crossed in front of her. Obviously, it's a she. And her hands are made out of apple. So, and her feet. No, her feet are like...
and her feet!
Her feet.
Yeah, we were kind of joking half-heartedly that, before we started recording, like if there ever was a haunted object, that damn thing is one of them right there.
Wow. And you know what I just noticed? It's wearing an actual leather witch's hat.
Oh, it is. Oh my gosh.
That. And it's made out of leather. It's like a really soft, it's almost like a deer hide.
Mike, you need to take some really cool, creepy photos of that and post that so our listeners can see what we're talking about.
I do.
I'm serious. You need to do that.
White kind of pearl beaded stuff on extremely old lace.
Mike isn't listening to me right now, boys and girls. He's staring at his doll.
I know. Okay, I'm done. Yes,
Okay.
you're right. I will do that. I have to do that. I shall do that.
So would a wandering spirit, Mike, be can you attest a wandering spirit to attachments to objects such as that?
Oh, absolutely.
I buy into that 100% too.
Yeah, what kind of an attachment did the person have to these things in
Yeah.
life? I mean, what kind of a satanic ritual did they do over them?
Oh God! Well, it doesn't have to be satanic, but hey,
Well,
hey, we're not our beloved Zach Bagans. Not everything is demonic, okay?
I was just going to
that's
say, go to Zach's.
By the way, Zach,
museum.
open invite to the Paranormal Zone. You know what's going to happen sometime when Zach is on his last legs and the Ghost Adventures has crashed and burned,
Yeah,
and he's dying for attention.
And he can't even do a Tylenol commercial.
Yeah, exactly. We'll be here waiting.
Well, I'll do it for a case of blacks, okay? All right, you got it, bud.
So, Mike, wrapping up Ghost Gab and kind of like haunted attachments or ghosts attached to people. If you had, Mike, when you pass away, decades from now, would there be something that you would find yourself attached to when we're talking about objects?
About objects in general, huh? Not living.
If you
things,
had
but an
something,
object.
yeah. If it not living, but if there is some object in your possession that you just couldn't let go in the afterlife, what do you think it would be?
Oh man, that's a really hard question.
Thank you.
I've become so less materialistic.
Of course, I ask a purely materialistic question then, and Mike puts me in my place. See, right. I'm beyond that, Patrick. Unlike you.
No. Oh, no.
And your Star Wars and your baseball cards. Worthless.
Oh, my Kirby collection.
No one cares.
My 240 plus Kirby cards.
Well, I think Mike definitely, when he travels to the next side, this is the song that will be guiding him. There he goes. Not a song, but...
I certainly want to be cremated with my Apple doll.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, there you go.
That'd be crazy. And my 8x10 glossy of Chip.
You're definitely going to be buried with Chip, for sure. Not with Chip, with the photo of Chip.
Or also, my Dr. Jeff Meldrum signed
yes,
Bigfoot 8x10 glossy.
Well, Mike, some people claim that ghosts wander for a variety of reasons. I mean, we believe that, obviously. But they claim, or they suggest, they imply, they theorize that ghosts wander as a lost soul, so to speak, due to unresolved issues or strong emotional attachments. We kind of hinted at that before, to places or people. So I get that. We dabbled in that a little bit. They just can't let go. That's just how it is.
Right.
Maybe that misunderstanding of their lots in life or their lots in the afterlife. They perhaps do not know they have passed on, which again is another sad aspect.
Oh, very. That would be. Oh, and then could you imagine when you do find out, or if you did find out that you're dead?
Yeah. Well, you see it in the movies. A lot of times it's portrayed humorously. A lot of times it's portrayed tragically.
Well, like the movie The Others, like we've talked about before.
Yes.
Great example.
Mm-hmm.
Which
100%.
I recommend that movie as a.
Well, even Beetlejuice, for gosh sakes, the original Beetlejuice. Sure. They return to their home and they're like, "What the hell's going on here? Things are a little different, a wee bit different." That would be.
I don't think that was there before.
Yeah, right. Sandworms. Yeah, that talk about traumatizing. Oh my gosh. But I think Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis handle it just fine.
Yeah. I wonder if they would come together to do another one.
Well, they did the sequel last year, but Alec was not in it, or neither of them were in it. But
yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. I don't know. I had no real desire to see the sequel, but
really,
I will eventually.
Bridget and I took the wee ones. Well, they're not wee anymore. To the movie last year. It was very enjoyable. I was actually. This is coming from someone who was not a fan of the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters movies, but I was a fan of the new Beetlejuice one. So I was pleasantly surprised.
Okay, well then I'll probably hate it. So
Yeah, because you love the Ghostbusters ones.
I know. No, I
See,
do
why
not
do you
do
say?
that.
Why did you say it like that?
Like what?
When I said that I liked it, then you said, "Oh, probably hate it."
Parody.
Are my opinions that useless, or just simply that incorrect? Is that what
It's
you are implying?
it's like making relief cuts along a piece of wood when you're cutting. You know, it's like you got to have a little shot in there where you throw a little funny in, and then
Okay.
you're good to go for a little bit longer.
All right, you keep going, Mr. Funny Man. Keep it up.
Anyway,
Some spirits, Mike, some spectral wanderers may continue to do so due to trauma, due to how they died, perhaps a fear of moving on.
mm-hmm. Oh yes, absolutely.
You know, where let's talk about that for a second. You're wandering the earth still. You're wandering the physical earth in a not physical form, not so physical form, and you are aware of your current existence, but you're afraid of moving on. I mean, I understand it, but if you are aware of passing away from this physical existence, wouldn't you want to move on? My God Almighty!
Yeah, but that
You
doesn't
got
mean
no
that
other
there isn't-
options, boys and girls. It's like, this isn't for you no more.
But sometimes it takes that push. It takes that just even that suggestion.
Oh, I get it.
To let them
I mean, that's
know
all we
it's
know.
okay.
That's all we know is
Yeah.
our entire existence is this physical one. I mean, and then when we transition, especially in a quick, traumatic, shocking manner,
Yeah.
you don't want to move on from it because it's probably a source of calm. It's probably a source of grounding.
Yeah.
Whereas that unknown is very fearful.
Right. If things go well for you after you're gone, and it's frustrating sometimes for me, and I didn't dwell on it a lot, but looking back, since I've been gone from hospice and that, it's just being at the doorway to that.
Yeah.
A number of times. The doorway of that would open it and that soul leaves.
Yeah.
I've been there for that.
You've been there.
And I've never, I just like, I don't see it. I'm just concentrating on that physical being. But, it's a weird thought.
Yeah, but it's a pretty powerful thought though, too.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's a real thing. To me, it's a very real thing.
What do you think about the idea, Mike, of a vengeful spirit lingering around?
Oh,
maybe because it wants to, I don't know, right a wrong or right something that it feels
or have
was
revenge
wrong
against something that.
Yeah, thank you. Kind of completed my thought there. Perhaps
we're not doing that now, are we?
No.
We don't want to start finishing each other's sentences. Then it's time to.
It's a little creepy. Yeah, a little creepy.
No,
a little
I'm
creepy.
Just kidding.
I mean, again, we reference movies already, but I think of one of my all-time favorite movies, the Brandon Lee classic, The Crow. Where he comes back to
so much
to basically avenge his own death. And oh man, do I buy into that as a possible reality? Yes, of course I do. I buy into that as a possible reality. I don't think it occurs nearly as high of a frequency. Perhaps at least I hope it doesn't, because that's kind of terrifying.
Yeah, but when when you see him come back in that vengeance, that vigilante, and he's in there at that table of just what are they? I mean, mob.
Heathens, Mike. They're heathens. Yes.
Bad
poo-poo people. That's what they are.
The ones that killed him in the first place.
Yes.
And that whole scene was freaking crazy. But I loved it.
No, it's a great, R.I.P. the Brandon Lee, and that's going on 30 years, over 30 years now since he was tragically killed accidentally on set.
Like it.
I know. Getting old, Mike. We're getting old, aren't we?
Yeah.
Well, let's dive a little bit into some of the meat, Mike,
Okay.
of the topic, okay? If you're ready for it. Are you
I
ready
am.
for this? Are you
I'm-
ready for this? Are you ready
I
for this?
was ready yesterday.
Were you ready yesterday? Is that for
No.
real?
No.
I was going to say, I would have been utterly impressed if you were ready yesterday.
Yeah. Well, I gave you a good example why I wasn't ready earlier before we started recording. So anyway, yes.
Mike, do you believe that we are all souls residing within a physical, how do you want to call this? A physical, realm, obviously. Our body is like the physical cocoon for our own soul. Do you buy into that idea?
What's a cocoon?
I said cocoon, not cartoon, not a spittoon, not a pontoon, a cocoon.
I was like, what the hell? Where does that fit in? No, but anyway.
Clear out your ears there, buddy.
Can't wear my hearing aids with my headphones.
That's true.
But
you buy
anyway,
into that, right? The physical body is merely the vessel for
absolutely
our soul.
What have I always said? Actually, is we
lots
are
of things.
spiritual beings living in a physical existence.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you believe, as souls, that we are on essentially like a never-ending journey of creation to raise our consciousness? We've talked about this, Mike, how we're always kind of like every level of existence in the other dimensions is kind of, you're hopefully rising up on that scale.
Raising your vibration.
Raising your vibrations, raising the energy. Yeah, so we both buy into that notion, right?
Right. And raising the vibration is, I guess, to me, is that process of entering into that next realm, if you want to say.
Yeah.
I've had dreams where, well, one in particular I remember, it was many years ago, and I've always wanted to be able to have an out of body experience. Okay, and I would have dreams where I was doing that, and I had one dream where I was laying on my stomach on a table. It was just the weirdest dream. And it was in a house, like a haunted house, like say it could have been something like the Boyd House or something like that.
Oh, really?
And and just to use that as an example, because it.
And you were lying on your stomach. You were lying on your tum tum,
like on this table, like almost like an old, like an old operating table, but wooden. I mean, it was very old. And I remember, and I was in the living room, and I was in front. There was this big, huge window, and I was in front of. Well, I was in the middle of the room, and I was trying to push myself up. Like doing a push-up, like trying to move myself off of the table. And in my dream, I could actually feel like everything just vibrating and shaking. Vibrating. And I could not get any further than like say I did half of a push-up,
Really?
And then I just poof right back down again. But the vibrating and the vibrating.
The vibrating, yes.
The vibrating was amazing.
He likes to emphasis the wrong syllables.
Yes, and I hasn't not wanted to do that. But anyway, it was a crazy dream, but it's one I'll never forget. But it just really reminds me of that, was it actually the beginning of an out-of-body experience? And was I actually my vibrational level rising?
Oh,
is that what I was
sure.
feeling?
Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And I was, then that was bringing me out, but then it was like too much. I couldn't do it. And bang, I went back.
Wow. You think maybe it was like a test run for you?
I think I just failed. Seriously. But anyway.
Well, what would have happened if you would have succeeded?
Oh, well, see, the thing is, too, is I have had dreams where, well, that's more of a flying dream, but.
I'm flying.
I've gone to other planets. I've just.
You've astral projected.
Oh, that's probably more like what that would be. Yeah. Yeah. But if I'm flying in a dream and I take off from the ground straight up, every single dream I have, wires get in the way. and I got to work my way around power
Really?
lines and shit. And, and I was like, yeah. But then once I'm past those, I am all over town. I'm straight up. I'm jumping and flying from building to building. It's great.
Wow.
I love it. But I haven't had
Leaps
a dream
and
like that
bounds.
haven't had a dream like that for too long. But
The Carbno kid can jump buildings.
Yeah.
Leaps and bounds.
I think mental health medication has put a kibosh on that real
Put a
quick.
damper on that one? Okay.
But anyway.
All right, okay, back to Wandering Souls here.
Yeah.
Or
not
Spectral.
wandering idiots in there.
Oh, hush. You hush.
Anyway, go ahead.
I'm thinking about other possibilities, Mike, here.
Yes.
Now, after the physical body dies, perhaps sometimes souls that do not elevate, they do not rise, perhaps. I mean, if you believe in it, they do not rise to God. They do not rise to that next level for various reasons, personal reasons, again, attachments, fear, what have you. Then they are left here roaming around, where they become, quote unquote, phantoms, specters, ghosts, or they become known as phantoms, specters, and ghosts. We mentioned earlier that perhaps some of them remain and they are driven to remain on this field of existence due to unresolved issues, unresolved emotions, hopefully not vengeful desires. Again, attached to objects, people, places, perhaps. They just don't want to leave their home. Would it be safe to say that, Mike, that some wandering spirits perhaps linger, or lost souls linger, because they just want to simply stay close to their family and friends?
Absolutely. They just can't leave. Maybe they feel like they haven't raised their children to where,
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe there's such a strong connection of a father that wants to see his daughter be married, waiting for something like it. I think things like that can happen. I really do.
Which, by the way, very briefly, I think I'm going to post that picture on Patreon, Mike. I want to get people's thoughts. That picture I shared of you of me and my newborn at the time.
Yes, that was such an awesome picture. Now
it's a cool picture. What is it exactly? You and I want to think it's something.
Well, we love the thought of paranormal, and if I think about it, I was getting such a great feeling about, your dad and everything.
Yeah.
But it's possible that it's a lens flare off the window.
It is possible, of course. Mm-hmm.
Things like that. But it is such a cool picture, and
the fact that the majority of that flare-ish looking effect actually goes in front of me. It goes in front of my hat.
Exactly. Yeah.
A majority of it is behind. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a genius by any means.
Yeah,
so but I would like to think that it's something other than just that. But I will share that on the Patreon page for sure.
Yeah, do that. Like I said, I got such great feelings about your father, and like a 3-generation picture is what I was feeling.
Exactly.
And I loved that feeling. I
love that idea. What do you think about the idea about simply, the quote unquote lost soul, the quote unquote wandering specter, just simply needs time to orient itself to the next, to orient itself where it is and to understand and grasp where it is going to go. Right. I mean, to me, that almost makes the most logical sense. Because especially if it's a quick, unexpected death.
Right. Right. Well, an example of that, it's like, like a huge plane crash. Well, like the one that just happened in India.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Oh, yeah. Hundreds of people killed. And one lone survivor. That man's never going to be the same the rest of his life.
Oh, heck no.
That survivor's guilt or whatever. Why did I live kind of thing. But, but you think of a plane crash like that in such a concentrated place of so much death at just one moment. Just bang.
Yeah, exactly.
They could be lost. It's like all they know is that they were in a plane crash.
Yeah.
And that could be their existence for who knows how
forever.
Long. Just wandering like, oh my God, where is everybody? What happened?
Well, Mike, we've heard stories about, and we've seen, quote unquote, evidence, film evidence of like haunted, like airports, or the what's it? I'm not a traveler by any means. What's it called? The walkway that that passengers take when they are boarding the plane. You've seen that footage of like the spectral beings wandering back and forth, constantly just entering the plane and constantly departing the plane.
Yeah.
I mean, are these sad souls? I mean, are they almost doomed to that existence for now until they realize what has happened and begin the process of moving on?
Then they could all have been like the plane crash or a plane crash that might have happened where these people were killed. Maybe it's like, and this is just out, off the top of my head, but
out in left field somewhere. Yeah.
I was going to say something else, but it's more uncomfortable. But anyway, but yeah, if you figure, if they're so confused when they crash and they have no idea where to go, maybe the most logical thing for them, or maybe the easiest, is to go back to where they were just before this all happened, which might have been the airport, which might have been when they were being, going
the terminal,
the
terminal that popped in my brain. Finally,
right.
I remember that word. Ooh.
Right.
I don't like it when I have massive brain farts when I forget simple things while we are recording. And I'm like, yeah, it's fun, isn't it?
That happens to me all the time.
Hey, but you know what? We're good at this.
Yeah.
I don't buy into the notion that there's a time limit or a time frame just based on like our physical understanding of quote unquote time, our interpretation of it, our creation of it, essentially.
Yeah, our human man created.
Because it's suggested that like if a soul or a spirit, quote unquote, does not return to God within 3 to 4 months, then maybe it has possibly chosen to stay here. It has chosen to stay here. Well, time doesn't exist when you're in the other realm of existence. So I don't like it when you hear about such theories. Well, if it hangs around for 3 to 4 months, it's obviously chosen to be here. It's like, what? Sorry,
well, that's somebody's theory that they maybe,
and it's fine. It's fine, but I have every right to disagree with it, which I do.
I do too.
Thank you very much. Oh, Mike, we got a lot of stuff to tackle here, and we're already up to almost 40 minutes. What the heck?
Yeah,
we are so good at our podcasting jobs here.
Yes.
Some examples, Mike, of wandering spirits. Okay, let's dive into a couple of these creepy tales.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of the Lady in White, Mike, in Anza Borrego Desert State Park? Ever heard of that?
No.
Okay, thank you. Well, the Lady in White in Anza Borrego Desert State Park. It is said that she has actually died there, or did die there. She had arrived at the Vallecito station in the late 1850s, and she never left. The bride had become deathly ill during her journey and died at Vallecito station. She was buried in an unmarked grave at Campo Santo, a few hundred yards away from the station. Buried in her wedding gown, she paced the adobe floor of the Vallecito station, patiently waiting for the next stage of her life, which would, at that time, would have taken her on to Sacramento. Her fiancé had struck it rich, Mike, in the gold fields, and had sent for her to join him. It is said that if you camp near the old Vallecito stage station, you too, Mike, you too will see the Lady in White in her wedding gown, restlessly pacing the worn earth where the station once stood, waiting for her stage to finally come and pick her up. Those are sad tales, or that's a sad tale.
Well, it is.
To me, that seems like a residual. Would you agree with that as a residual? Is she not aware? Is that just an energy? It is not her soul. It's just the residual mark that her sadness left.
Is she doing the same thing like that film loop over and over again? I mean, is
Right.
she showing intelligence, or does somebody actually make it up to where they actually see this and they find it's actually a ripped and torn poster of a old Tom Petty concert that is just flopping in the wind? I don't know.
You know what would be ironic is if you saw a fully intact poster of the actor Rip Torn.
Oh,
See,
he's dead now.
That's irony, though.
Do you think that's his real name? I shall call myself Rip Torn.
I bequeath upon you the name Rip
I had a long
Torn.
list of possibilities, like shredded wheat. It did not work.
Shredded wheat or Rip Torn. There you go.
Yeah.
Well,
shredded cloth of. Anyway, go ahead.
Okay, hush. Yeah.
I'm done.
Yeah, my vibe, the lady in white, is a residual. I don't think that's necessarily her spirit. I think that's just the energy that her tragic death has embarked or has imbued upon that locale.
Yes.
The ghost dancers, Mike, of Yaqui Well.
Yaqui Well.
Yaqui Well. Now, during the warm summer nights when a full moon rises, I am sharing from an article here now, and I will give the credit when we are done. Rises in the desert sky ghost dancers have been seen at Yaqui Well in Anza Borrego Desert State Park, the aforementioned. The ghosts are immigrants who were traveling from Yuma, Arizona to California. They all died at the well site. Well, that's pretty straightforward and to the point.
Well, water is probably tainted.
Taint.
Stagnant.
It is. There you go, or both.
Yeah. Poisoned.
Okay.
Okay.
It is only during the hot summer nights at the full moon that these three immigrants return to Yaqui Well. One rises out of the muddy waters, Mike, of Yaqui Well.
Mm-hmm.
One emerges from the brush nearby. And the third arrives in a cool breeze out of the wash. The ghosts then join hands and circle Yaqui Well in a dance. Soon after the twirling begins, they disappear, leaving only the good waters of the well and a slight chill in the air.
No ice cube needed.
No ice cube needed, just some dancing ghosts.
And a cup of muddy water.
So if that's a legit story, I'm not saying I buy into that one.
I love that story, though.
I love it. So what would be going on there on hot summer night? Only on hot summer nights, these ghosts gather up and they dance. Have you ever heard of ghostly dances, Mike, to cleanse the water?
Oh, sure. Not to cleanse the water. I think I've had a few succubuses dancing.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay.
No. Those are just a bad dream thing. They come to you in your dream, or incubus or something like that. But I'm trying to pedal my way out of that one. But anyway.
Okay. Backpedal your way out of that.
Yeah.
Oh, your vibe on that one though, as far as the story, the dancing spirits. I love it.
And why not? I mean, is it something that was a ritual that was done? Are these, were they like Yaqui natives, or were they like a Wiccan type clan, or are they just spectral beings? It would be a fascinating thing to see, and it is a possibility. It's not out of the realm of a and if it happens
in our minds, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
Exactly. But like you said, on hot nights, and they do something to the water to cleanse it.
Yeah.
So maybe this is like and it could be a legend, but it could be something where all these people had died by this water source, correct?
As they did. I mean, as they themselves also did.
Right. So is this a way of preventing this thing from happening again?
Right. To prevent others from perishing.
Are they bound to be there to because they experience this, and they have the energy and the emotions and the energy of everybody that perished there, to do this.
Right.
You know, might be their mission after death.
I like that. Thank you for saying that, because that's what I was exactly going to say. It's like they were sent back for a purpose.
Yeah,
You know?
and not like they were being punished to have to stay
No.
there forever. It's like, oop, there she goes.
No, I get it. I get it. I mean, what better? I mean, I would think personally, if you were to choose a form of afterlife, would you not want to
Yeah.
save others?
Oh, absolutely.
Mike, we spoke of the Lady in White. Have you also heard of the legend of the Lady in Blue? Of all the tales of lost treasure, ghosts, inexplicable lights, apparitions, spirit horses, unsolved murders, and disappearances across the Southwest, the legend of Maria Jesus de Agrada, the fabled Lady in Blue, or the Blue Nun, ranks among the most strange and mysterious of them all. A Spanish nun who physically never left her convent in her country's province of Soria. She nevertheless purportedly traveled by spirit, a phenomenon called bilocation, or the more commonly known teleportation.
It's a lot quicker than the subway.
A lot quicker than the subway. She was teleported by the church to minister to Indians in Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas. The story
But then in the middle of that, there was a fly that got in one of the teleportation pods. And then, anyway, go ahead.
That's why they called her Seth Brundle.
Sister Brundle.
The legend of Sister Brundle.
No joking about this. It's serious.
Yeah. Or the legend of the Lady in the Pod. How's that?
Yeah.
Whether true or not, this tale has left an enduring mark on the folklore and the paranormal stories of the desert. What do you think about that possibility, Mike? Used by the church, a nun used by the church to teleport to minister to Indians in Arizona, New Mexico, and western Texas. Do you buy into that possibility, or you kind of going,
it's a little more
boy.
icky, but I like it, though. I like it.
Well, yeah, we love all these stories, but it's again, it's like, wow, really? Another quick story, Mike. 1928, 22-year-old Leon Jensen, distraught over a broken love affair, jumped. Oh, it must be Leonie Jensen. Jumped to her death from the roof of the then new San Carlos Hotel on North Central Avenue. Her white floating form is allegedly still seen roaming the grounds to this day. There are reports of children running through the hallways and the sounds of laughing children coming from within the rooms of the San Carlos Hotel. May this perhaps be explained by the fact that the hotel was built on the site of the first elementary school in the city? Before it became a hotel, you still hear the giggles of the little wee ones when no one is there.
Now, why would there be the giggles of the wee ones? I mean, they did not die there? Is there some reason?
Yeah,
The
that's a great question.
It could it be the residual of the living energy of something?
Yes. So every time we talk about residual hauntings, Mike, residual ghostly apparitions, whatever you want to call them, it seems more often than not they're always attached to like a sad, tragic story.
Right.
Is it not possible for a residual, quote unquote, residual energy / haunting to be imprinted on some locale, some building, whatever you want to say, due to an immense amount of happiness, an immense amount of joy? These kids are attending school when they probably had no chance of something like that happening even a mere year or two before that. You know, there was
exactly
a wonderful experience for them. Maybe that happy giggle is a residual from simply happy kids. So happy that they left the imprint. Possibility?
I absolutely. I like that. And you always hear of schools having some kind of a haunting. I mean, many. Well,
quite
you
often
have experienced it yourself. You haven't admitted to.
Oh yeah.
But my dog is.
I know. Well, she's getting excited by Mike's screaming like a banshee earlier, or talking about it, I should say. But
Yeah.
this the happiness of the kids perhaps still residing, or the residual energy still residing, that totally contradicts the tragic story of Leone who jumped to her death
Yeah.
from the same hotel. Why did she do that? There's no explanation here. We'd have to
Right.
dive deeper into that. But that goes to the tragic end of it, Mike. I mean, people still claim to see her roaming the grounds.
Yeah.
That's sad. That's sad enough to think about it. Is it her spirit that is literally being seen, or is it the imprint, the memory of her physical existence that is being seen wandering the grounds? It's not her. It's not her ghost. It's just that imprint of when she was there.
You'd have to go and find her and ask her and see what happened.
Miss
No,
Leone.
If you could actually experience it and just see how it acts, see how it moves, I think you can have an idea if it's a residual or an intelligence just by observing what it does.
Sure.
Maybe but the giggling children and all that in the schools, it really brings me back to that story, and I know I've told it before, probably more than enough times on air.
Can I interject real quick?
Yes.
I want to interject real quick. Just to be clear, we do not think like if that is the case, if they are happy, giggly children in residual form, I don't know if that necessarily constitutes the lost souls definition.
No,
I don't know
it
if that doesn't constitute the wandering souls definition.
No.
Okay, I just wanted to interject there. Please continue.
Well, my situation, and I know you'll recognize this as I start to tell it, but when my father and I were going through, we just, we used to love just walking through abandoned farmhouses all the time. And and I would picture what they would look like back when they were new or whatever, and places that had been abandoned for decades. And we were in this one, it was a big American 4-square farmhouse, and it was in the middle of nowhere. I mean, we had to walk in like you and I did on that one where the old church was.
Absolutely.
By Whitestone Battlefield. But anyway, when we were walking up down the hallway upstairs, my dad was ahead of me, I don't know, 20 feet, maybe 15, 20 feet. And I heard through all the windows were gone. I could hear children giggling and laughing outside.
That's right. Yes.
And I was like, boy, I swear I heard kids out there. And I thought maybe there's, kids that are there just playing around in the woods or whatever. But I looked, there's nobody there. And that's when I went into the one room and I found that scattered old photographs all over the floor. And I picked up one of them and I looked at it, or looking at the pictures, I found one that was a picture of children standing beside a small casket. Like it would have been a casket with their friend in it that passed away. But it was like, it's like it was right there in the yard of this farmhouse. I mean,
damn.
That's what it was to me. It's like this picture was taken of this casket, all these kids around. I don't know if it was siblings or friends or whatever, and then, finding that and then hearing the children playing outside.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Could that have been residual of those kids and the one that passed away when they used to play out there? Or, is the one that died, that was buried or in the casket there, is that some catalyst for, the sound of children playing with that child there? I don't know. It's hard to really.
I know, but I love that story though. That you didn't experience that for nothing. I mean, that
right.
was.
Oh, exactly. It was unforgettable.
Some message was being sent to you there.
Yeah.
For sure.
And I asked my dad if he heard it, but like I said, he was ahead of me further and he didn't hear anything. But yeah, it was interesting.
Mike, along U.S. Highway 666, I mean, we've heard several stories of the alleged hauntings on the, quote, highway to hell, one of which being a ghost car, which has appeared during full moons and actually reportedly run other cars off of the road. Another apparition of a mad trucker roams the highway. There's yet another apparition of a phantom girl in a nightgown whom vanishes from sight when motorists stop to help her.
And that's it. You hear that all
You
over
hear
the
those
country,
all the
all over
time.
the
I mean,
world.
these three quick examples to me are the epitome of a lost wandering soul.
Oh,
At least the
exactly
last two for sure. I'm not sure about the ghost car. I retract that one. The ghost car, that just seems what's going on there? Is that, Christine all over again here, for you Stephen King fans? But a mad trucker who roams the highway, that sounds terrifying. And the phantom girl in a nightgown who vanishes when motorists stop to help her. She, for sure, fits that wandering soul.
Yeah.
Again, we're using this word over and over and over again. Residual or intelligent. The fact that she disappears when motorists, she looks so real that people go to help her, and then she's gone.
Yeah. Well, like Resurrection Mary in Chicago.
Very similar. Very, very similar. And you hear so many stories about people picking up hitchhikers that they think are flesh and blood, and they end up not being so fleshy and bloody.
Yeah. They all of a sudden are gone, and the door did not open.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, Mike, we got so much. As per usual, we have like so much stuff that we left on the table. We got to wrap up the episode here. Okay, I'm going to switch over to another source of conversation real quick, and we'll end this episode on that. Okay.
Okay.
Are you good to go? Are
yeah.
you understand? Oh my God, maybe I won't.
I understand.
Nope, because this article is way too long. We'll save this for another episode altogether. So we'll go back to some of these spooky. Well, not necessarily spooky, but some cool stories.
Yeah. While you're looking for that, there is the lady in white also in my hometown of Fargo.
That's right. Yes, in the cemetery.
Well, it's the cemetery is there. You and I had been there during the day where the weeping willows are. There's a lady in white that is supposed to be seen by a certain willow tree during in the middle of the night.
And when we were there, we didn't see jack crap. But
we saw a lot of guys playing frisbee golf.
Exactly. We saw them playing frisbee golf, and
they were like, "Can you get out of our way, please?"
Yes.
Those two.
Yeah, I remember that day quite fondly. Mike doesn't remember it too fondly because you had to use the bathroom like 95 times.
Oh, I know. I think it was a package
through no fault of your own. It was
I think it was a package of dried apple chips that I ate, and boy, they didn't agree with me. I don't know.
Maybe they're made out of like your dead apple doll type thing. Maybe that's what happened.
Well, I bought them that morning, and I was like, "Well, I can snack on these during the day." Nope.
No, that didn't work.
Yeah, I felt very ill, but boy, it didn't stop me. Anyway.
Mike, Tombstone, Arizona, another place that is just brimming with alleged haunted activity.
That's a bucket list for me.
Oh, man. The famous Birdcage Theater, for example. Hundreds and hundreds of visitors to the Birdcage Theater have recounted hearing people singing and talking in the box seats above the stage when no one is there.
Yeah. You can hear Doc Holliday coughing in the...
Oh, man.
His
tuberculosis-ridden lungs...
Yeah. You hear the coughing, and then you see a little blood splat on the floor.
Which, by the way, Mike, that's again one of my all-time favorites. Again, I'm doing air quotes. Evidence of paranormal activity. I believe it was an episode of Ghost Adventures where they pick up clear as day on digital recorder, like the phantom music of the saloon. From back in the day. And I mean, there's no ifs, ands, or about it. That's what they picked. Ands, or buts about it. That's what was picked up. And I find that utterly fascinating. I mean, it's like, is that proof of an unlimited amount of dimensions coexisting at the same time, Mike? And it just kind of broke through that veil that picked up the audio? Or is it simply, again, there's that word again, residual energy that they picked up?
Could be both. little bit of each.
I like the idea of it being an unlimited amount of dimensions. That's what I personally would love it to be.
And then it's like spinning in a circle, and then all of a sudden, every once in a while, that circle just overlaps a little bit into the next one.
Exactly.
It's
like a tiny little. It's like a dimensional paranormal version of a Venn diagram, where they overlap, they all kind of share this. Mike's looking at me like, what the hell did you just say?
No, I know. I can see it. I can picture it. Yeah.
Again, dozens of testimonies by people at the Birdcage Theater, both tourists and employees, Mike, have seen people in the theater wearing clothes from the 1800s. Mm-hmm. Numerous sightings of a man wearing a visor walking across the stage. A number of other buildings.
Like a ghost from the 70s or something. Did he have an afro too? Or I mean, like you'd see, like I picture in the 70s, like the skinny white guy wearing gym shorts and knee high socks. He's got this white or this blonde afro, and he's wearing a visor and a t-shirt with a happy face on it.
I don't think that's what they're referring to, but
okay,
you never know. Mike, the Dragoon Mountains, another example, perhaps.
Oh, that sounds like a good Scots-Irish thing.
Oh, man. Between the Dragoons and the town of Wilcox, Arizona, a phantom train makes its trek across the plains. I love hearing stories about phantom trains.
You and I have a train to go visit that is haunted still.
Well, even in the town of Tagus, there's alleged phantom train activity that's going on, which we did visit before, by the way. Now, this phantom locomotive between the Dragoons and the town of Wilcox, Mike, has been both seen and heard by scores of people throughout the years. Scores, not just several, Mike, scores of people.
Yes.
But the trouble is, there never was a train that ran through these parts, and there is no track. It has become known as the Phantom Train of Dragoon. So how would one explain that, Mike? Never in its existence has there ever been a track, let alone a train that has traveled those parts. But yet here are the phantom sounds.
I'd say somebody made that shit up.
And okay, you could be right. You could be right.
No. What? Hey, what? Okay, if you're talking about dimensions. And what can be going on in these different dimensions that overlap in that exact same place? Now this is getting way off into another.
No, let's get it. Let's get it.
Okay, what if that overlapping? All of a sudden, overlapping in that exact same spot where those dimensions reach reach each other and touch, but in that dimension there is a train going through there. There was a train there, or there is at that moment a train that's still there.
Exactly. That is physically in reality existing in this other dimension. And that's what they're picking up.
Yes. Or it could be a residual phantom train from the next dimension. Who knows?
Oh, I love it.
You want to get crazy with it. I mean, geez.
I don't think that's crazy. I think it's fascinating. And I think it's possible.
But you and we do have to get back to Bonanzaville. In Fargo, where they have the pioneer town where all the old buildings brought in. There's a huge building that has all these antique vehicles in it. There is that very old train there. I think it's a passenger car train. And people get hits on their EVPs and their EMF and spirit box stuff. We have to get there.
I know.
And then plus there's the engine that is in Minnesota, just on the edge of Moorhead, just past Fargo, in Dilworth, Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely.
There is that engine there that is supposed to be haunted.
I know.
That, we could go and just sit there, buy it, and see if we can get, a spirit box or some energy, whatever.
Yeah.
And that used to be a train that it's not a phantom train that's seen anymore, that I believe, but it was a train that used to go between Dilworth and Fargo, back and forth. And the brakeman or whatever, he got crushed between the engine and the next car. So you see where the couplings are on the end of this engine, train engines that's sitting there.
And that's where tragedy happened.
That's where it happened. I mean,
Oh,
think of energy there, Patrick. We got to go there. You've talked about, hey, you've gotten that itch to do something.
I do. I always do. Yes.
We got to get to these places. Yeah. Yeah.
Would you consider a spectral train, Mike, as a wandering soul?
Wow. I saw a movie like that once.
Well, you said like
awesome,
the man who tragically lost his life. Does his brutal, tragic death, does that somehow, I'm going to use that word again. No, I'm not going to use that word. Does it somehow become one with the train?
Yeah.
So,
Is there enough energy there that had caused this entire event?
Yes. To play over and over.
The train.
Yes.
Oh, sure. I mean, especially, if you're, say you get caught in your middle and you don't have vital organs that are hit and you're hanging there.
Yes.
A long death.
No thanks.
Not to be totally, badly graphic, but
well, it's always fun to talk about entrails. Yeah, it's always cool.
I don't know. But
that's a possibility. We need to get back. We need to check that stuff out.
Yeah.
God darn it! This episode went by super, super fast here. It hardly touched anything that we really wanted to dive into, but we need to wrap it up, Mike.
That's how much we plan.
Hey, but you know what? We're good at what we do. We're podcasting professionals, and don't you deny it. Even though I deny it like every day.
This big switch around that we're doing again is going to be positive in many ways.
It's going to be good. It's going to be good. This is all of our former listeners who find a new episode on Spotify. Yeah, it's like, there it is. So,
well, I guess my thing ain't broken after all.
I know. Oh man, now all we have to do is somehow recapture all the alternate route podcast listeners who believe we fell off the face of the earth back in 2020.
Hey, I tell you, on the social media, when it comes up who you should follow, and I've got lines and lines and lines of paranormal organizations and groups.
Yes.
And I tell you, I'm hitting so many of them, and I mean they're interesting though too. I mean, it's like,
you can't just follow willy nilly.
No. I'm just hitting those, and the more we can get, maybe that way. Hey, check out the podcast.
Absolutely. Again, thank you everybody for tuning in. Yeah, this is our big return to all your favorite podcasting platforms and Michigan. And if you do in fact listen to this right now sometime in the future, let us know. Leave a review on all those platforms, on Spotify, on Pandora, on Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio, and all sorts of places that are just wonderful. That sounded lame. Those reviews, those ratings help. And please do so. Give us 5 stars, thumbs up, whatever the hell it is.
And they also help Patrick to not lose his hair so quickly.
That's very true. Very, very, very true. Hey, I don't know. I'm not looking too shabby. What the hell are you talking about?
No, you're looking. No, whatever
stop.
You think.
Just stop. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Again, if you do enjoy the content and you want to support the podcast, no better way than to give our Patreon page a shot. You can sign up for as little as $1 a month, and you'll have access to all 90 Patreon exclusive episodes, plus all the retro and random episodes. We're well over 100. And again, in all sincerity, potentially access to all of our ghost hunting videos and footage and audio and EVPs and all that good stuff. But lots of cool stuff growing on the Patreon page. And we'd appreciate it.
So anybody that's been thinking about, God, I don't know if I should keep listening to this crap or not, we're doing another good positive thing, but it's good.
No, it is.
We're
passionate. We're passionate about it, and it's no joke.
And the ones that have left, hey, they're always welcome back.
Amen. Amen, sister.
Hey, no questions asked. Hey, no judgment. Not at all.
Oh God, no. We don't judge anybody, Mike.
Oh,
don't judge anybody.
Who are we to judge?
100% agreement. Mike, thanks for making this work, my friend. It's good to see you as always. I will send you the link. Hey, get to work on creating a cool AI image for this
Yes.
episode and
As
send
soon
that
as
to
I
me
am-
shortly.
Yeah, as soon as my as soon
Yeah.
as you say goodbye, I'm
I
on
am
it.
trying to get there. I'm trying to get there.
And
Trust
I'm
me.
not
So-
letting you. I'm just yap.
All right, boys and girls, thanks so much for tuning in. Mike, until next time, what do our
Yes.
paranormal pals need to do?
You need to. You need to do it quick. You need to do it now. You need to do it for a while. Just peace out until next time. And I'll tell you again, peace out.